Welcome everyone, and welcome to the Pursuit Gong ceremony. I'm Dave Yang. I am the co-founder of Pursuit, and I'll be your MC for today. I am beyond excited to celebrate with you all. We have three amazing fellows who are going to be ringing the gong today, and they all started actually their apprenticeship at Thumbtack. For those that are new here, the gong ceremony is a tradition that we started to celebrate when a fellow accepts a job offer and is about to kick off their new career. You know, it's a really important milestone for the fellow, but you know, it really is a celebration of the community. That's why I'm really excited to see so many different faces here, from current fellows to alumni to we have a lot of folks joining from Thumbtack as well. So I'm really excited to celebrate as a community. And it's a really important milestone for the fellow. You'll hear from each of the fellows. They'll share their stories and how they all worked incredibly hard to get to this moment. But the gong is not just a celebration of the first tech job. It's really a celebration of the whole journey, even before Pursuit. So, you know, we'll share in all the different challenges and struggles that our fellows have had to overcome to get to this point. And it's also we're gathered here as a community because we want to show that on their next phase of their journey, as they launch their careers, we're all here to support them. So before we start and before we hear from the fellows, I just wanted to give a little bit of context about our partnership with Thumbtack. And it's a partnership that we've been working on and developing over the past year. If I can request a quick mute from everyone joining, thank you. So our partnership with Thumbtack started at the beginning of last year. And for those that are new to Thumbtack, they're an online platform that connects millions of customers with service professionals, such as like plumbers, painters, and many other small businesses. They're a fast-growing venture-backed business based in San Francisco. And we're really excited to work with Thumbtack because in so many ways our missions are really aligned. Through their platform, they help create economic opportunity for millions of people across the United States. And obviously for us, our mission is to create economic opportunity through our fellowship and community. So we're really excited that the three fellows that will be ringing the gong today are working at a company whose values and mission is so aligned with ours. So we initially partnered with Thumbtack, as I mentioned earlier last year, to create a special TAC Fellows apprenticeship program. And this is an apprenticeship program that's exclusive for our fellows. That means that these jobs were only available for our fellows. And it really is a commitment from Thumbtack to help train new engineers and build an inclusive community. So we're really excited that our fellows are now working at Thumbtack. And as with a lot of things, COVID, COVID caused us to put this program on hold for a little bit. But while we put the apprenticeship on pause, we continue to work together in so many different ways throughout the past year. We had four amazing Thumbtack engineers who volunteered volunteer their time to help lead a 6-week job readiness mentorship program last summer. I believe some of the volunteers are here, so thank you for your volunteership. Thank you for your contributions and for helping our fellows, really launch their careers. It's really a critical part of our mission. So we're really excited to have your leadership. So in addition to this mentorship opportunity, we also had Sander join us last August. He led our fireside chat with Juke. And I'm actually going to share the blog post that we wrote about after Sander's fire chat. So if you have time, please take a read. He really shared his story and expertise. And I think one thing that particularly stood out to me when Sander was talking, he talked about how to achieve success, there's really no overnight success. There's no lucky breaks. It's all about the tough stuff, and you have to, it's all about the tough stuff you have to do, and you have to keep pushing forward. So I think that really resonates with me. That really resonates with a lot of our fellows. And it also really resonates through our work this past year. I'm really happy that we continued to work together, push through all the tough stuff throughout COVID, and ensure that this amazing apprenticeship program got off the ground. So the 3 fellows that are working at Thumbtack today were hired through this apprenticeship, and hopefully, they will continue to build their career at Thumbtack. Sander is joining us today. I want to welcome Sander and ask him to share a few words to our community. So take it away, Sander.
Thanks, David. Great to be here. Great to see everyone again. I loved our fireside chat last August. Yeah, I'll just echo a few things that David shared. We have really valued our partnership with Pursuit. I agree that our missions are strongly aligned. The reason we started Thumbtack was to create economic opportunity for people. We're proud of the work that we do to put money in the pockets of small businesses to help build a path to a middle-class career for folks in a time when in certain ways tech is eroding that path. And so we attract people to Thumbtack who resonate with that mission, and we're very mission oriented goals through everything we do. It's a big part of our product that we offer to the world, but it's also a big part of our internal culture. So when people ask us to describe our culture, some of the language they'll hear is down to earth, humble, pragmatic, self-aware. We very strongly believe none of us is perfect. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. We're all on our personal journeys. And the best thing we can do is identify those and leverage and celebrate our strengths and talk openly about and help one another improve or compensate for our weaknesses. So, like David said, I very strongly believe life is a journey. We're all on this journey. There's lots of ups, there's lots of downs. Things are rarely earned easily. And we're excited to we're excited for Isaiah and Adam and Ahad, and we continue to be excited about this partnership and about everything you all are doing on your career journeys and that Pursuit is helping you out with. So thank you.
Thanks, Sander. Thanks for sharing those words. I also know that we're joined by many other teammates from Thumbtack as well. I know Tim Carter, the Director of Engineering, is here as well. Tim, do you want to share a few words or?
Yeah, I can just speak really quickly. I mean, I'm going to echo mostly Sander's thoughts. Engineering is super excited that Ahad, Adam, and Isaiah are here. We're really looking forward to the next 9 months and beyond to see what we can build together, what kind of impact they'll have. Also, like on a side note, I've been part of this program, this partnership with Pursuit since I think we actually started late in 2019, and 2020 kind of threw us a curveball. So it's really, really gratifying to be at this point. It's been great working with all of you. Your sense of mission and your enthusiasm for what you do really, really comes through. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing this partnership as well. So yeah.
Thanks, Tim. I'm going to share my screen again. Awesome. So quickly, how does the Gong ceremony work? As you can see in this video, we actually had a physical gong in the office that fellows would ring back when we were actually in person. But since we don't have that now, we've actually built some new virtual versions, and we've built 3 iterations to date. So the first was actually a iOS app, and then we built 2 web apps. So the latest one is built by Alejo, who's here today. He's a 4.1 fellow, and he's also instructor. So I'm going to share the link to the Gong. So if everyone clicks into it, you'll be taken to a screen. Hit enter. And once you're there, the fellows who are ringing the gong will hit OK. For the rest of us, we'll all hit cancel, and that will take us to the Gong page. If if you try to hit the gong, it actually won't work, and only the fellows who will be ringing the gong will actually be able to do it. But it's an exciting way for us to all celebrate together. And what I would love to ask is when, after the fellow shares their story, if we can all unmute and celebrate together, that would be fantastic. So today we have three fellows. We'll be going first up with Adam. Adam, take it away.
Hey everybody, good afternoon, good morning. So I guess, just to start, I started at Pursuit in like a June of 2019. A lot of my story before was that I was in college and I didn't really know what to do. I knew that I wanted to be in STEM and I knew that I wanted to be in tech. I just didn't know what function it was. So I was kind of lost in college. I think I changed my major like 3 times or whatever. And by the time that I got to my junior year, I was just like really frustrated because I just had a whole bunch of classes, but I didn't have any real world experience. I hadn't been in anybody's office, had a company. And so that kind of just led me to my aunt actually with me voicing these, these frustrations. She had told me about Pursuit and was just, telling me about how, oh, they'll teach you how to code and whatnot. And then hopefully they'll, help you elevate into getting a position in tech. And to be honest, at the time, I didn't really know about like software engineers and the fact that like you could code like as a career. I wasn't aware of the industry at all. So Pursuit definitely did open me up to that. And so, I mean, basically, like when it came to Pursuit, I think that Pursuit was just like one of those moments in life that just like taught me a lot. And Pursuit definitely did kick my butt for like the 9 months I think that like we were there. We went in there Monday through Friday from 10 to 6, just coding, listening to lectures and whatnot. I think that like the biggest challenge was like staying motivated every day and was like kind of like just not going through the motions, because I'm sure especially for the people that were there when we were in person, you could easily just fall into the motions, just showing up at 10 a.m., going to the lecture, being really confused on the projects and whatnot, and then not really kind of like learning anything for like a while. And so when that happened to me, which was like month like 4 or 5, I had to like stop myself, and I was like, okay, like I'm here to get a job. I'm here on a mission. So like, let me make sure that like I'm coming in, taking every day seriously. And then that's when, I mean, like Ayula and Caroline know, like I was in the office at like 7 a.m. every day. Like I was like one of the first people I pursued every day, practicing early, already ready there for class, and then leaving at like 6 or 7. So yeah, and like that's just so just like how big of a deal was for me, at least, that like when you really work at something and when you really have like that support system of people around you to get you to where you want to go, that's just like super important. So like thank you to David, thank you to Juke for first of all starting Pursuit, for like giving people like me, underrepresented minority tech, the opportunity, to learn these skills and then to get placed at, companies like Thumbtack, that like already have like really, really great values and like are already doing the work to help people gain more economic opportunity. And then really just lastly, I was actually kind of just talking about just like what's next for me. And honestly, it's a little bit of like not knowing, and then it's a little bit also about just like finding out more. So first of all, like I'm just really excited to just like be at Thumbtack. Thumbtack is like a growing company, and like I'm really excited that, like I'm like at a company that's like that, like they're growing and like they're getting there. I hope that like that makes sense. Like they are expanding. They're doing some like really cool stuff, trying to solve for some really cool problems. So like, just like what's next for me is just elevating at Thumbtack, being a great engineer, getting more responsibility, making a bigger impact on the product, and what's going to happen moving forward for their plans. Because I really love the engineering team. Again, I really love the problems that they're solving for and for small businesses in America. And yeah, and so just like thank you to everybody, man. Like, you know, just for this opportunity. Thank you to Thumbtack. Thank you to Pursuit. Thank you to all my friends for, you know, always coming and joking around with me, listening to my corny jokes all day. Yeah, so yeah, that's all I had to say. Thank you. Am I supposed to go like ring the gong now or?
Yep, share your screen and ring the gong.
Okay. Oh, wait, sorry, I was working on the PR before this. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Adam. All right. Next up, we have Ahad. Do you want to?
Unmute or?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So just to introduce myself a little quickly, my name is Ahad. I'm from the 6.3 iOS cohort. I started around September of 2019. Before I start off anything about my journey, I do want to say a few thank you notes to a few people. Definitely first off to Alex, because he was an amazing instructor at Pursuit, as well as being an amazing human being. And everyone who works at Pursuit are kind of crazy at what they do. And I'm really happy that people there work there, as well as the fellows who work alongside with me. People like Kelby, Brendan, and Cameron, who were the people that I got to work with on my capstone project. Our capstone project, they mean a lot to me. And as well as the people that I saw every day during the days we were still able to go in person. Before I came to Pursuit, I had done ride sharing and worked at a lighting rental warehouse. They were kind of blue collar jobs, and I wanted to make a change in my life. And that's when I found Pursuit. I literally just Googled it. It's like something like New York City, something, and it was like right there. So I was like, all right. The application process was kind of hard, but when I got accepted, I was like, okay, this is my chance. And during my time there, I worked really hard. After the classes with like each unit that we were learning, I would probably stay late just to study and do the labs of the project, or I'd come back home and still study till late, doing the exact same thing. And most of the time, it was just a combination of both. I was scared because I didn't know if what I was going to do is going to be good enough to become some sort of software developer. And I didn't know whether I was spending enough time on anything. But at the same time, I was actually really inspired. There was just a classroom full of people who were working towards making change to their lives, just like me. And I found my motivation through them. But when the pandemic happened, that kind of threw a wrench in that confidence. Because then all that happened was made me want to study even harder. Every day, I felt like I had to study harder than before. And if I wasn't studying, I was wasting time. On top of just whatever I was learning at Pursuit, I took my time to learn SQL, JavaScript, Node, SwiftUI, or Combine. And only because I was just scared that I thought I was wasting my time. But turns out when you try to do something like that, you kind of burn out. And that was one of the lower points of my journey as a software developer, or at least becoming a software developer. When I had to find work eventually, during the latter half of my time at Pursuit, or at least like during the spring, summer. So I started working for an accountant, helping him balance books for small businesses. And eventually I was still looking around for work during the latter half, as well as like the end of my 10 months at Pursuit. And I got accepted into a paid fellowship at Major League Hacking to work as a mobile developer. But for the job, they said I'd be working in React Native. And that was kind of a little bit of a shocker because I'm coming from an iOS background. I was like, I don't know how to do that. But it did give me a chance to relearn the foundations for a whole new project that I was going to be working with. And I got that chance again when Thumbtack had reopened their applications that time around during like December, November-ish. So just to relearn iOS again. When I got accepted to apply for Thumbtack's Apprentice program, I was shocked because I was there with other Pursuit fellows in Lunai. And during that time it took for that coding challenge and as well as the job application, I was really, really happy. Like over several hours, I completed problems that were like real world problems that other engineers had solved. And that was just like my chance to do it. And it made me really happy to just be a part of that process. It gave me that confidence I lost back in the during the pandemic, and it made me really realize that I'm going to be a software engineer. But my biggest takeaway from that journey was it was definitely hard work, but it wasn't just mine alone. It was the culmination of effort, culmination of effort between everyone I had met in not just Pursuit, but the volunteers who I worked there, the networking opportunities that they gave us to meet other engineers from different companies. And I want to say that I believe in Pursuit's mission, and I want to thank everyone who believed in me too. I'm excited to continue to learn at Thumbtack and as I build my career in tech. And last but not least, I do want to thank my best friend who really helped me out at my lowest point in my journey. He's the best. So yeah, that's the end of my speech. Now I just gotta do the gong.
Congrats, and thank you for sharing your story. Last but not least, we have Isaiah, and Isaiah actually requested a special introduction from Corey. So I'm going to hand it over to Corey to introduce Isaiah.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I am so honored and proud to introduce Isaiah. Isaiah is the person that I think about when I hear the word grit. Throughout the entire year, he worked the overnight shifts at Duane Reade. He told me it was tough, but said it was only super hard on Saturdays because those were the days he'd have to stay awake for more than 26 hours. He was also soon to be dad, congratulations, and had loved ones that needed help from him during the day. Isaiah literally didn't sleep. Did I mention that through all this, he still remained the top student in the class, that he was an egoless leader that strove to help his classmates? Every day, I was inspired by Isaiah. Isaiah, I know you will do huge things in the tech industry and will find so much success, all the while being a great father to your child. Thank you for all the hard work that you put into this year. I know your future self will thank you for the rest of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Isaiah Collazo. Woo!
Yeah. Wow, I'm gonna cry right now. Thank you, Corey, for those really kind words. I guess I don't need to really introduce myself after that, but I'm Isaiah. I was a fellow from the 6.4 full stack web cohort. And now with the help of everyone at Pursuit, I've been able to land my first tech job as an apprentice at Thumbtack. You know, growing up, I always wanted to be in tech. In elementary school, I would write out fully fleshed out games, like characters, worlds, levels, everything. And getting older, I realized how much games helped me anytime I was going through a rough patch. I was able to escape reality for just those few short moments and enter a whole other world. I found out how I could actually develop my ideas through coding. And by the time it came to apply for college, I had my mind set on one school, Rochester Institute of Technology. But my grades weren't where they were well below their required. And their game development program was very competitive. And even my college counselor said that it was going to be a bit of a reach. So I developed a plan. I would apply early decision for their web development program. It was far less competitive. And I did that so it would increase my chances. And later on, I would transfer into game design after my grades got up a bit. But by some miracle, 2 months later, I got my letter of acceptance, you know, and fast forward a semester and a half, I fell in love with web development. I still love game design, but it kind of fell on the back burner and something I wanted to do on the side instead. But I ended up having a hard time. I wasn't really adjusting, and my time at school wasn't going as well as I hoped. So I ended up taking time off, unsure if I would go back. I took that time to focus on myself. I got my first job at Chipotle, where I was able to meet my amazing girlfriend. And I spent some times with my loved ones. I grew as a person. And after those few months, I still wasn't sure if I was going to go back to school, though. But I didn't want to give up that amazing opportunity I was given. So I went back for another semester, but not much changed. I knew my heart was still set on web development, though. And speaking to my dad, we thought looking for other options would be best. By happenstance, my dad likes to act in commercials and photo shoots and stuff. And he told me one time about a shoot for a company that helped train software developers. The name was Pursuit. And he told me to look into it. So I did, and it turned out it was a week before the early decision timeframe was up. So I got my application in ASAP. And somehow, after many different screenings, I made it through, and I was given another amazing opportunity so soon after the one at RIT. So I told myself I was not going to move on from this one. I had to commit myself to bettering myself throughout the program, and I did just that. I did whatever it took to fulfill my dream. You know, like Corey said, I would stay late. I would work on my projects, my passion projects, the class projects, and from there I would go straight to work. And at work, I would write out code or ideas in a sketchbook that I have. I still have it next to my desk, and I still use it. And during my break, I took out my laptop immediately to continue where I left off. After work, I would hop on the Q or the 2 train, and the second I got a seat, the same thing. My goal was to make everything I did stand out. I wanted people to look at my work and say, yeah, that was Isaiah. He did that. But I also wanted to help people out. So on my weekends, I volunteered my lunch hour to hold study sessions where we would go over whatever topic the other fellows needed extra help in. It wasn't one-sided though, because as I tackled those topics with them, they helped me get better at public speaking. Like, I was not doing good at first, but as the sessions went on, my confidence in myself rose and I got better. And now I'm here today just doing the best I've ever done. And because of the opportunities I was given, I can look back at my younger self and be proud of how far I've come in such a short period of time. I started my own family. I have a beautiful daughter, Ava. I just turned 21 and I landed a job at a company whose mission really aligns with my own. I always wanted to help others in any way possible. When I wanted to make games, it was to escape reality. And as I got into web dev, it shifted into building a product that can help them in whatever way they needed. And Thumbtack does just that, helping blue collar workers, family businesses, entrepreneurs, just everyday people connect with others and run a sustaining and secure business. But this is just the beginning. There's still so much I want to learn and do, and so many ideas I have that I want to develop. And thanks to Pursuit and the people that have helped me along the way, I can do that, you know? All of 6.4 for inspiring me. Seeing all of you grind made me want to grind just as hard every single time I saw it. John, Jenya, and Talene for challenging me throughout the program. Caroline for the support and making sure I was being healthy. I remember I think it was a Wednesday. I told you that I didn't eat that day, and you gave me some mac and cheese cups and some Nutri-Grain bars to help me. And Corey for being the best instructor and mentor for myself and the rest of 6.4. You challenged and supported me every step of the way. Every time that I showed any signs of slipping, you were on top of it, and you really helped me stay focused. And I'm really appreciative of that. and my parents and my girlfriend Kale for being understanding and supportive, knowing that the year I'd spent at Pursuit would be tough and tireless. They were in my corner the whole time, even being pregnant and working her own long hours. She handled it like a champ, and I wouldn't be where I am now without any of you. You know, I'm really grateful for all the help and support you've given me. So, ring the gong.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam, Ahad, and Isaiah for sharing your stories. I think beyond being amazing engineers, you three are just wonderful people. So I'm really happy to share this moment with all of you. And thanks everyone else for joining. As I mentioned before, this Pursuit really is a community. So I'm really happy to celebrate with so many people of our community. I want to give a special shout out to Ellie, Will, and Philip for helping us drive this partnership on the Pursuit end. And I really want to thank so many people on the employment team for continuing to support our fellows throughout the hiring process. So if we can, let's give our staff, all the amazing team members from Thumbtack, Sander, Tim, everyone, all the volunteers, let's give them a big round of applause.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. So thank you for joining today. We actually have another gong ceremony coming up next Friday.
Yes.
We have 4 fellows that are going to ring the gong next week.
Yeah, I found it and then lost it.
We have Henry, who is now working at C Labs through our partnership with Andreessen Horowitz. We're really excited to celebrate Henry as the first hire through that partnership. We also have Christian and Luba, who are going to be working at Twitter. They'll be joining 3 other fellows who are now working at Twitter. And Marvin Thompson, who's now teaching and giving back by teaching at the New York City Tech Talent Pipeline. So I'll be sending out an invite to that gong ceremony. And then excitingly, the week after, we'll be also having a gong ceremony for our Peloton crew. We have 5 engineers working at Peloton, hired through apprenticeship there as well. So stay tuned for an invite and more celebrations to come. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Congrats, everyone.
We're the last ones left.
I guess that means we have to fight to the death.
Yeah, we're playing chicken at this point now. Who's going to be the last to leave?
I got all day.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
The best.
Congrats. Thanks for sharing. I needed the inspiration. I'm slipping.
It's nice to hear.
All right, now I'm gonna jump off. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.